Hey there. It's Friday night. It's about 8:30 at night. I've just come back from Liz. It's the final Friday before payday, and I'm basically broke. But I'm also out of food. So I'm walking to Sainsbury's with a total of 12 of your earth pounds in my pocket, so that I can get some bread and milk at the very least. Maybe a block of cheese. The company I work for, we get paid on the final working day of every month. Which is a bit of a faff, if I'm honest with you, because the final working day of this month is Monday, the 31st of March. Today being the 28th. And I'm completely broke. I've got negative £2.10p in my bank account. I've got 91 pence in my joint bank account, or one of them. The other one's empty. So, yeah, needs must and all that. I'm also acutely conscious that my upload schedule has dipped massively. So, in year one of this vlog, I did something like 240 episodes, and I'm barely getting out one a week now. And I have to say, it's because I'm just so busy. I'm really busy at work, got a really tricky client, and then I'm visiting Liz currently 4 days a week. And it's just taking it out of me, really. And I just really kind of don't have the time or the inclination to do a vlog. So, I am making the effort right now, and we are on the way to Sainsbury's, and I thought I'd walk, try and be a little bit healthy. My health is particularly poor, but I thought, what the heck. Also, I'm going to be honest with you, visiting Liz at the moment is not the best thing in the world. I'm not blaming her, but basically her world is very small. It is restricted to the room that she's staying in, and she's exceptionally grumpy and just complains all the time when I do go there. And I'm not blaming her, I'm just saying that's what it's like. Understandably, because she feels a bit like life has kind of screwed her over, and she's not wrong. But it's almost like I'm not allowed to get upset, you know? And I don't understand that at all. But there you go. Might also be a good night for getting the telescope out. So I've just visited the vault to make sure that's okay, because I haven't been for a couple of weeks. And tomorrow I think I'm going to clean the car, because it hasn't been cleaned for months, and I'm going to give it a clean myself, inside and out, hopefully, unless the weather decides to rain. And yeah, that's my plans. So I can hear people shouting. Kids, I think. I don't know if it's some kind of party or what. I mean, they're very excitable. And it looks like one of the back gardens over there is lit up with floodlights, because all the trees are illuminated. So, yeah. There you go. So, it is 0.6 miles from the bunker to Sainsbury's. I probably should have a tunnel dug so I can just emerge into it not for any nefarious shoplifting reasons, but I could heat the tunnel. I could put a little monorail in there. I could have a little train going underground from the bunker to Sainsbury, so I wouldn't ever have to technically leave the house / get wet / cold, because it's a little bit chilly right now. But you know, it's not unpleasant. So here's a thought. Dig a tunnel. I'll add that to my to-do list. Dig a tunnel to Sainsbury's. Yeah. I've got £12 in coins in my pocket. So I can't buy much. Bread, milk, cheese, as a minimum, I think. Yes. Bread, milk, cheese, as a minimum. Anyway, I spent a total of £10 and 43 pence. There you go, there's a riveting fact for you. I worked out that this lot should have cost me £11.30, but maybe I was looking at pre-nectar prices. I got milk, bread, cheese, some Twixes, some fig rolls. Because sometimes you just need a chocolate hit, right? And somebody, Alice, has eaten my last packet of fig rolls. And then the lady gave me, I guess I gave the lady £10.50, and she gave me 10p change. And because, believe it or not, despite what the world would have you believe, and despite the way that the world seems to treat me as some kind of arch nemesis / evil person, I am actually an honest person, and I told her she'd given me too much, and I gave her the 10p back, and she gave me 7p in return, expressing confusion as to why it had told her to give me 10p. Well, it's because she put £10.53 as the amount I'd tendered, which was not accurate. And as I don't want to be arrested for the sake of 3 pence, note to any Americans watching who might believe some of the bullshit about my country at the moment, that was in fact a joke, and I would never be arrested for 3 pence. But I feel I have to add that disclaimer. Yeah, so I can survive this weekend now. I used to work for a company that we got paid on the 18th of every month, and then that company merged with another. I say merger, we ended up with the same company name. It was more of a takeover, and for reasons I've never been entirely clear, although possibly because the other company had more staff to start with, we went to their payday of the 25th of the month. Now obviously if those days fell on a weekend, you would get paid the Friday before, which was always quite handy. And on December, you'd get paid on the 18th, because obviously December being the 25th of December. Christmas, being the 25th of December. December being the 20th December, what am I talking about? I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. I am losing my mind, and I'm pretty certain that one way or another, I'm probably not long for this world. So, I was going to say, if you're watching this in the future, but you inevitably are, because number one, you cannot possibly watch it in the past, and number two, I'm not live streaming this, so you can't be watching it in the present. And even if I was, in inverted commas, live streaming this, the delay in it getting to you means that no matter how many nanoseconds or microseconds in the past this will be to you, it is undeniably in the past. Anyway, it's definitely going to be in the past because I've got to edit this and upload it. So what I'm saying is, hello to you future people who may well be watching this after I'm dead. We just don't know, do we? We just don't know. We just don't know what lies for us in the future. Anyway, nice little walk, clear the air. And that's that. See if we can clean the car tomorrow. Shouldn't have to leave the house. Leave my territory, I should say. Look at this. Have you seen Gus? £100 cash reward if you find Gus the cat. Oh dear. I get a lot of notices about missing cats on Facebook and the like. It's quite distressing. See, my cats are house cats, but they are allowed in the garden, but only because I've put a barrier up, which means they can't get out and no other cats can get in. Whisper, for the first, Whisper's 9 now. Whisper's never, ever, ever shown any inclination to try and escape, ever. Ty quite regularly scales the fences, trying to get at birds perched on the top. And when he was very tiny, he managed to find a small gap behind a paving slab that I'd had up against the fence and got into next door's garden. Fortunately for me, Ty is quite food oriented. Both cats actually have got out onto the sloped roof from the bedroom window, but the moment you rattle food and say sweeties, they come running back in. So it's quite good to have that kind of control, I think. Yes. My friend Barry came round the other day to my house. My friend Barry, the drone pilot who gave me the confidence to fly my drone. He's on holiday to Norway soon, and I've lent him my old Sony camcorder with SIM cards, microphone, spare batteries. It's an excellent camera, probably a little bit long in the tooth now. I bought it about 10 years ago for the coverage of the cycle tour thingy, which you will find a video of in this very YouTube stream. It's about an hour and a half long. I documented the whole thing. You'll find that. Anyway, that's what I used for it. But as I say, it's about 10 years old now. So not exactly cutting edge, but it's a very, very good machine. But I don't use it for vlogging. In fact, Alice was supposed to be using it, but I don't think she has. There was nothing on it. It's been in her room for at least a year, maybe 2. So I had to ask her for it back so I could charge it and lend it to Barry, because he's going to Norway on a cruise. He is going to be popping into Bergen, where I used to work. And I said, well, maybe there's a small, tiny possibility you'll meet my friend Mauna, but that's unlikely because I don't think Barry's getting off the boat. Anyway, he's going to be recording his trip. So there you go. This camcorder, it's a Sony one, because there have been, for most of my life, I will generally buy Sony equipment. Apart from this vlog, where I'm almost entirely equipped with DJI. Other brands are available. But it's got a projector built into it. When you swing open the screen door on the other side, you can project. It's really cool. So there. Anyway, I am nearly home again now. I'm going to lock up and I'm going to hide the scary world, and I might show you a couple of other things that have been going on when I get home in about 2 minutes. There. Won't that be exciting, boys and girls? Anyway, we're home. I have milk, I have cheese, I have some Twixes. I have literally the last loaf of this particular bread, which is my preferred brand, and 2 packets of fig rolls. There you go. Isn't that exciting, everybody? I'm going to show you something now. I'm going to show you the first of the at least 2 things that I wanted to show you. Bear with me, don't stop bearing with. Okay, let me just switch this around. This is the latest Doctor Who magazine. It arrived Thursday, I think. About 2 minutes or so after my friend Adrian texted me or sent me an image of one of the pages. So, you might remember 2 issues ago, Doctor Who magazine featured a lovely tribute to my friend Siobhan on the editorial. Last issue, I went looking to see if there were any letters relating to it, and there weren't. But hey, guess what? If we go to the letters page, there's Siobhan. A letter here from Paul Jobson. Or by email, I should say. Letter. Shows you how old I am. Thank you so much for paying tribute to Siobhan in your introduction to last month's issue. I was so shocked to hear of her death just before Christmas. She was unique in the podcasting world and is missed by so many. Many who knew her well, many who met her a few times, and many like me who only knew her through her work. However, we all feel like we have lost a friend. This is down to her personal style that drew you in as a listener and made you feel part of her world. Hearing about her cats, listening to her interactions with her many co-broadcasters and enjoying her many catchphrases. Dear Bod. I think of her rendition of The First Doctor, her in-depth interviews. Ian Levine was a favourite, and her fair reviews of the show. She always had something positive to say. I even think of her when listening to Ultravox. Goodbye, Siobhan, and thank you. She will certainly be missed, Paul. Often when new episodes air, we find ourselves thinking how much friends we have lost would have enjoyed them. And while that's sad, it brings back happy memories too. Do continue to write in. Until next month. I felt that with a Christmas episode of Doctor Who. The first episode after Siobhan left us. She'd never see it. And I remember reading an article years ago, back in the 90s, I think, in a Doctor Who fanzine. It may have been the rebooted version of Skaro, which I have at least one article in, by the way, from the 90s. and basically the writer said that he's come to accept that he will never see every episode of Doctor Who because it's going to carry on after he's died. There's so much Doctor Who I haven't interacted with. There's so much Big Finish. I mean, there's a lifetime of listening there. I've got a lot of it, but by no means, not even a fraction of it really. I'm a bit of a Dalek fan, so I buy the Dalek stories generally, but I'm probably behind on those as well. The War Master stories are good, but yeah, so many Doctor Who stories that I'm not remotely familiar with and won't ever be because they will appear after I'm dead. I got one other thing to show you. Let's go out here. Bear with me. Now this is old news now. This was, if not last week, the week before. I honestly can't remember. The Radio Times. Because 2025 is the 25th anniversary of Doctor Who, new Doctor Who. One of 6 covers. Hello, Time Machine. How are you? This is Tiberius. Hello, Ty. I'm doing a vlog. Thank you for joining me. 6 different covers. So we've got Eccles Cake, Tennant, representing Doctors 10 and 14, although this is Doctor 10. Matt Smith, Peter Capaldi, Jodie Whittaker, and of course Ncuti Gatwa. Now I was able, luckily, just in a couple of stops to get all these. So I got, let me see, I got that one. I got Tennant and Capaldi at Tesco's in Hazelmere, having just left Liz. And the other 3, Jodie Whittaker, Matt Smith and Ncuti Gatwa, I got in Morrison's in Basingstoke, in here basically. So, oops, I was very lucky to get all of them without having to drive around too much. And this might be part of the reason I'm slightly broke this month, because these things are £5 each. I spent £30 on issues of the Radio Times that I'm never going to read, really. They're all identical inside. So I'm not going to show you the article because I'm tired and I need some food. Yeah, just something that I forgot to show you in a previous episode of this vlog. And since we're playing catch up on some things that I have failed to vlog about, this arrived on, again, I want to say Wednesday, but it might have been as early as Monday. It might have been Monday. Anyway, I haven't opened it yet. It's been sat on my armchair. It's from Amazon. I know what it is. Let's open it, shall we? That's very satisfying. It is Doctor Who, The Savages. Let me just get rid of this packaging. Very colourful cover there. It's in a slipcase. Right, this is an animation of a missing story. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I haven't even had time to watch the Celestial Toymaker animation yet. I don't know when I'm going to get around to watching this. I have to make a confession, and I've made this confession many times, and it's nothing new. I'm not saying William Hartnell's a bad Doctor, far from it. Obviously, he was the archetype, he was the original Doctor. You know, we should all honour him for that. But he's my least favourite Doctor. I find many of the stories a bit slow. I don't like historical stories. And I don't necessarily find the character of the Doctor all that sympathetic. It's not to say I don't like black and white stories, because my favourite Doctor is Patrick Troughton. But, yeah. So, the Doctor and his travelling companions, Stephen and Dodo, arrive on an unnamed planet where they encounter 2 distinct people, the Elders and the Savages. They soon discover the Elders are the evil ones, draining the primitive savages for their life source to remain young and powerful forever. I would have read the Target novelisation of this probably over 30 years ago, and I don't remember this story at all. I just remember it's the one where Ian leaves. I think. Not Ian, Stephen leaves. I'm tired and hungry. This is why I'm blurring and can't talk properly. The Savages is the completely missing 9th serial of the 3rd season in Doctor Who, which was first broadcast in 1966. To date, although audio recordings, still photographs and 8mm clips of the story exist, no episodes of this serial are known to have survived. Using the surviving audio recordings, all episodes have been animated in both colour and black and white to bring this lost classic back to life. Maybe if I watch it in colour. It includes episodes 1 to 4 animated black and white, episodes 1 to 4 animated colour, photographic reconstructions of episodes 1 to 4, surviving footage compilation, audio commentaries, Innes Lloyd documentary, photo gallery, PDF material, Remembering Forgetting the Savages documentary. There you go. Right, so as I say, it's in a slipcase. Now, what I really, really appreciate about these releases of these ongoing DVD releases, and I'm going to tell you why I've got this on DVD in a minute, not Blu-ray. Obviously, every few years, the Doctor Who logo changes. It's not consistent, which means if you start a range of Doctor Who releases, because of the length of time Doctor Who's been running, you know, by the time you finish that range, the logo could well have changed several times. Here's a little booklet inside with some merch ideas. Got that. That looks very nice, but I can't afford that at the moment. I don't know where to put it. And then there's a little booklet about the Savages. So the problem is, right, is that, you know, if you were to literally stick with what is the current Doctor Who logo with every release, 3 discs in here, you would have a major problem in that your range no longer looks the same. You see what I just did? They put reversible sleeves in here so that you can change the sleeve of your, in this case, DVD, right, and stick those back in there, and ignoring the slipcase, what happens is when you then put it back with your existing collection of Doctor Who DVDs, as I have, look at that, the spine, it matches. How cool is that? I really appreciate that they do that. I will be putting that back in properly at some point. Now the slipcases, I don't bin them. What I do is, they live over here in my second TARDIS cabinet. So that's Classic Who. This is New Who and Who spin-offs and other stuff. So we've got New Who right up until Joy to the World. Sorry, my camera's drifted off. Joy to the World here. Then we've got An Adventure in Space and Time. My camera's drifted off again. And then we've got Curse of Fatal Death, which is my last remaining VHS because they've never released that on Blu-ray. Then we've got the films in various versions. Torchwood. Actually, I think K9 and Company is over there. That should probably come back over here if we're treating this as spin-offs. Anyway, we've got Sarah Jane Adventures, K9, Class, and then we go into things like Blake 7, Red Dwarf, Planet of the Apes, that kind of thing. For some reason, I've got 2 copies of The Church on Ruby Road, and I don't know why. I don't know why I did that. Maybe I picked one up in HMV thinking I didn't have it or something. Anyway, slipcases, they live in here, you see, so that my collection can be and remain pristine. There we go. And then on the door here, I did this, started this list years ago, printed this out on my first computer, and I was going through identifying the stories that were missing, episodes that were missing, ticking them off as we got them one by one. This was originally on VHS, and now, of course, here we are. So, yeah, as you can see, it's already kind of spilling over. But yeah, that's that. Right, I've reorganised this now. So these are in airing production order. So we've got Hartnell up to Troughton, up to Pertwee, up to Tom Baker, Davison, Colin Baker, all the way up to Curse of Fenric, and then Survival. There's not quite enough room to put it in here. It's tragic, so it has to sit on the top here. And then over here, we've got Doctor Who the Daleks in colour, and I'm going to have the War Games in colour when that arrives, also sitting on the top. But this is now entirely classic Doctor Who, because what I've done is I've taken out K9 and Company. That's going to sit in the spin-offs section. I also had Doctor Who the movie, which arguably not classic Doctor Who. Scream of the Shauka, which also kind of chronologically follows. I also had Lost in Time in here. Many of these episodes have since been found, the missing ones. And I had More Than 30 Years in the TARDIS. So those are going to go into the reserve TARDIS cabinet. And I've got all these bears at the top here, and they've now started falling off. And it's purely because I'm filming. Basically, life likes to embarrass me. And I'm going to lean into it. I'm going to have a little bet with myself as to how many of these little bears fall off. There you go. Right, now I've sorted out this cabinet as well. So this continues on. So we've got the movie, Scream of the Shauka, then Lost in Time. Then we've got basically Eccles Cake, Tennant, going up to Matt Smith, etc., 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 all the way up to Joy to the World. Then we've got More Than 30 Years in the TARDIS, An Adventure in Space and Time, Power of the Daleks on Blu-ray, Doctor Who the Movie on Blu-ray, Spearhead from Space on Blu-ray, Doctor Who Movie Collection, the 2 Dalek films, A Girl's Best Friend. So now